Good evening, good evening. Time is 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The temperature is 57 degrees. I'm sorry I'm late.
Recognize my mayor. When you do, you don't change your pride. My spar. Yeah. I remember. You tell me what you said. We met when I was with the sheriff's office. Victim was from my parish. Had to deliver the death notification. My first time. Your wife killed herself. That's what you said. I've never forgotten you standing there with that around your heart. She's why we're here. You know her? Stacy grew up thinking her mom abandoned her. Oh, we know. That's not the truth. You and I both know that he murdered her.
Give your TV antenna an upgrade. Meet Tablo. Tablo lets you record, pause, and replay your favorites. And it gives you access to more free channels you can't get with an antenna alone. Tablo connects to any TV antenna and your Wi-Fi, so you can watch on any device anywhere in your home. Get it all with zero monthly fees or contracts. Buy Tablo today for just $99.95. Tablo. Pay once and watch forever. Order now at TabloTV.com.
In the next 30 seconds, 250 couples will need to make room for a nursery. 26 people will go all in. The 3 will get 2 bathrooms. And finally, one vacationer will say, but as the euphoria...
Nothing in the mailbox. As you know, you saw the 2 videos ago this morning where I was upset at leaf filters. You know, they screwed up a wet dream. They upset me. You know, I can't help it if the post office and my lawyer takes their sweet time from a car wreck. I let them know everything, told them the check was on the way. But them son of a bitches, leaf filter in Louisville, Kentucky, smart asses. Is that how to do business, leaf filter? You know, the salesman was pretty nice, but I even told him that, you know, I'm waiting on the insurance money. And they said, well, we set it up for December the 1st. I called about 2 to 3 days before and canceled it because I didn't hear from my lawyer. So I had to take my son down to see his mom because she was dying. She had cancer. 5 days later, she passed away. And they couldn't get nothing right. But that's, you know, Kentucky hillbillies. Because them people didn't know what the hell they're doing. I complained to corporate office. I sent my cashier's check on the 29th of January. Thanks to the damn post office, it took more than 24 hours. It took 7 to 14 plus days to get to Louisville, Kentucky. A few miles. You know, it looked like the post office, instead of going frontwards, they're going backwards. They're going back to the old cowboy days when you have horses and the stagecoach. Do the post office need a pay raise? Hell no. You know, you all you don't know what I'm talking about, the post office. Even if you send a letter in your own town, it usually goes to the main post office and come back 7 to 14 days later. I sent myself a letter from the local post office, 7 to 14 days. Does that make sense, you're smart people? I've been corresponding with GoPro. You know, there's some things they should add to it. You know, they should put on in the software somehow where you can use like OBS or Prison Live Studio where you can stream 2 or 3 of them at the same time. You know, but people said you can do more than one live streaming, but people, this little pea brain up here ain't smart enough. I'm 70 plus years old. I can't figure it out. They talk about URL, this and that, and I don't know what the heck it means. You saw the video I done around, I guess, 2 o'clock. It was I guess they call it a 1050 PD in Indiana. Since the ambulance was called, I guess it turns it into a slight PI. But you saw the white car, there was no damage to the butt end of it. I didn't see none. And when I got there, it was sitting there at 3 and 62. It didn't look like there was any damage. To me, that looked like maybe a lawsuit. Because usually when you get in the wreck, if you hit somebody in the butt, it's your fault. So that's something to think about. I tell some people, you need dash cams. Because it could save your butt in a case like this. You know, I could say the white car, maybe put it in reverse or back into it. I don't know. I wasn't there. I came through there maybe 20 minutes before it happened. So that's something to think about. I forgot to call the courthouse today because I got jury duty Tuesday. But it says in the paperwork, no cell phones. I got a question. Anybody who been on a jury or a lawyer, prosecutor. I got diabetes. I got a sensor. If my sugar gets low, I'm not going to know about it. So if I don't forget it, comes Monday, I have to call the court and see if I can do that on account of my diabetes because I got a sensor. I cannot tell if it's too low, too high, or low. You got low, ultra low, high, and ultra high, if you know what I mean. I use that Freestyle Limbo 2 sensor. So, Kern County Crime Watchers is on, Roger and Aiden and his pet monkey, his stuffed monkey that is, but that's okay. My son fixed some meatloaf. All I got out was 2 pieces and some mashed potatoes. And he had some macaroni and cheese. You know, that's all I wanted. Because that's his, you know.
It's so hard to see, man. But you had his helmet.
So,
that's a good thing. You had his helmet, guys.
Maybe I do need a girlfriend who's very smart. No kids. in the 20s.
Yeah, but the shield broke off of it now.
No, I'm not a dirty old man. And
Those things save lives.
do I want kids? I couldn't put a woman through that because a kid growing up and I show up at something at school. It says, that's your grandpa. I couldn't put that child through that. That is wrong. I couldn't do that. But the lady has to be on the skinny side. That's what I'm looking for. The top half, maybe eggs, golf balls, tennis balls, maybe a softball. But no cantaloupes or watermelon because the back hurts. They say, how you know that back hurts? I had 3 wives like that, and a few girlfriends. That's all they did is complain. Oh, my back hurts, my back hurts, my back hurts. I don't need to get upset. That would upset me to keep complaining about her back, but it's not her fault. God made all kinds of ladies out there. So, but you could, no drugs, no alcohol, really no smoking. Because I cannot, that smoke, even, if I smell it on your clothes, it'll make me sick. I used to be a smoker back in my younger days. I used to do drugs. I used to do alcohol. What, Alex?
What's going on?
What, Blackie? Can I have one? Anytime I get on the internet, you all got to fuss about.
Come on with the scanner?
What? I know you love me. I can't do nothing. I'm not a tomcat, I'm not a kitty cat. I'm a human. Now, Blackie's a minute. You got cat food, you got water, because I feel everybody's water bowls up. Everybody got cat food, so quit complaining. People ask me, say, how you like a GoPro? It's not bad, but they put a battery at least last 2 hours, say about 1 hour and 10 minutes or something like that. I got 2 extra batteries with it, but no charger. And I don't think I can put it in the charger I got from Best Buy, because that is a GoPro charger for their batteries. So, but to live streaming, I had a few problems with it. My first problem is the damn manual. Maybe for a young person that got good eyes, I dropped my phone. People with good eyes is still going to have problems. That print is so little, I don't think a pissant could read it. But it don't really tell you anything about it, really. And you get the medium mode. It don't tell you which hole is the charging port. Lucky GoPro gave me a GoPro site, on YouTube. On the video, it told me which one. The one I thought was the charging port was the HMDI port, the small one, and on the other end is a cable you could either plug into your computer or your TV. See, there's nothing in that damn manual explain it, To live streaming, like I've seen some of them, you need that, Volt, VOLT or something. it's like a handle. You can have like a tripod where you can sit it down, and that gives it supposedly a total of 4 hours. And you need a bigger milliamp batteries in them GoPro, I'm finding out. At least a 2000 or bigger, I would say. The microphone on that video works pretty good. After you fuss back and forth with GoPro and you try to look at videos, and I had a problem. One day I was here live streaming, it went dead. That's about 5 minutes after I started. I said, SOB, it done it again. So I changed the batteries in, found out the battery went dead. I said, how come it keeps doing it every 5 minutes? I remember there was a setting in it to shut it off in 5 minutes. I thought if you're not doing anything, you just have it sitting on your table. It's shut off in 5 minutes. That's not the case. So you set it for never. So I didn't get nothing in my mailbox, but maybe I get a surprise one day. One person asked me, do I accept cashier's check? I said, yeah, since I got a savings account, I can put it in there and let it sit. But I said, you must put in there what it's for. You know, if it's for gasoline, this or that, you know. If you don't want me to mention your name, I won't do it. You have to put it in there, not to mention your name. You can mention your state, but you don't have to mention your city. Like I say, the GoPro came from Amazon, but the media mode came from New Jersey. So maybe somebody in New Jersey watched this video. I don't know. And I got that 51 accessories. There's a few things that's cheap. Like the extender where you can put it on your GoPro and about 3 or 4 feet out in front of you. That is cheap. And they got this like small 3-legged tripod. That son of a gun is cheap. Okay, here's the thing to me is not worth that. They had like a dash mount to put your dash pro on. That's a piece of junk. You know, that is junk. Man, if you're going to put something in there, put some good stuff. Because that car dash mount, window mount, whatever you call it, is a piece of crap. You know, maybe you can buy a better mount for your GoPro. No, Alex. No. I forgot to stop at the cemetery and see when my mother was born. I know it was a few days for Valentine's Day, so oh well, that's my fault. Like I say, I got jury duty Tuesday. I know something Monday after 4:30 is supposed to call after 4:30 and they tell you if it's on or off. So, you know, they might tell me Monday morning when I call to ask about my cell phone because of my diabetes. You know, I don't know, but as long as I keep it turned off, it'd be okay, I would guess. I know they don't want to be disturbed while they're in court. Ouch! You bit me, Alex. I know you didn't mean to bite me. Go find Socks. Socks is a tomcat. He's a half a tomcat. You have to teach him. Yeah, you have to teach him. You bite me, I'm going to spank your butt. I know you love me. Why can't you love your daughter, Alexi, instead of being an a-hole to her? Look at your mama. Your mama takes care of your baby. That's your doing. That's not her. She didn't have Alexi. You did. Okay. I thought it was maybe the 12th. I couldn't remember. I took your brother up to the library because they like his family, mom, grandma. They always help him out. They miss him since he's not there every day. So, Alexi and Blackie's horse playing around. That means I got to bring my feet up, or I'll be having scratches all over my ankles and my leg. Oh, man. Now, I know it was 2 days after her birthday. That much I remember. But, instead of doing a-hole, instead of him calling me to tell me about her pass away, it was the funeral home director. And, that wasn't his place. She had a will. And you got cheated, Luann got cheated, everybody got cheated out of it. He didn't go by the will. He gave over $3,000 to a neighbor that lived down there where he lived, and he tried to commit suicide with a shotgun. Gave him a $3,000 to $5,000 cashier's check. But she was 101 when she passed away, people. She spoiled the kids, especially my dad spoiled my daughter. I'd be working during the summer cutting grass. My daughter would get sick at school. They called Dad. Dad would pick her up. I guess maybe Dad took her out to eat, maybe. The only thing Charleston got back in is McDonald's. I don't think they had a Dairy Queen back there. They had a Dairy Queen at one time. Yeah, it's Foot Friday. I got my socks off and all this. Got out of the bathtub. Yeah, okay, druthers. Didn't druthers turn into Dairy Queen? Something? I don't know. I kind of missed Dairy Queen. They had pretty good cheeseburgers. Yeah, there's my foot. See, it's Foot Friday. But before I go to sleep, I have to put my socks on. And people, if you think getting those leaf gutters, to help keep the leaves out. That one out there, like, got a curve in it, curve and all that, and the water's supposed to go in it. I think about that. You know how much rain, sometimes it rains cats and dogs. Will all that water go into them gutters? No. It'll run over top of it and down the side of your house. So look at leaf filter. That's another one. Those idiots is assholes. See, but I didn't know Dad done that until years after he passed away. That's a secret between you and Grandpa, But that's what grandpas do, spoil their grandkids. And some of you don't know my dad. You might be a Mason, maybe. My dad was a Mason of Lodge 226 in Charlestown, Indiana. He sure did take it to his grave. And you got another kind of filter system. I think it's black for one I CV. It got tiny holes in it. I believe it's metal. I think those would probably be better. If you look at the leaf filter, it's plastic and a screen like you got in your screen-in windows. And I like the other ones I saw on Mike Holmes' videos on YouTube. He's kind of like an inspector. The ones that they showed in those videos, black with tiny holes in it, I kind of like those better. But leaf filter screwed my ass. They knew I was waiting to hear from my lawyer. I kept in touch with him. Jack Donkeys in Louisville, Kentucky. But thanks to the post office and the Pony Express, back in the old days, 20 or a couple of 100 miles or 1,000 miles away, you got the letter anywhere from 24 hours to 72 hours later. Not 7 to 14 plus days, even if it goes 20 miles. That's stupid. So the post office, in a way, screwed me because they just got that cashier's check yesterday. It's what they say. So, I'm pissed off. They took advantage of a senior citizen. And maybe I will file a complaint with the FTC because, I've been on, I'm trying to be honest. I let them know. And it was scheduled to do the work on December the 1st. So in November, I called. I couldn't get through the main office. Nobody's in the main office. And I text the salesman. The salesman tells me he never got the text to cancel it. And I wasn't home when they came December the 1st. They had it all done. I said, what are you all doing here? I said, I canceled it last month. Because I've never heard from my attorney yet. And, plus they didn't have permission to trespass, maybe I can, but I claim to the corporate office, they act like they didn't care. So be careful, people. There's people out there that take disadvantage of you, especially senior citizens. And let you know something, update on the ex-sheriff. It was on the local news. I got a text to it. I don't really watch the local news, but I got a text where they looking into the ex-sheriff and his wife's daughter. And like I said, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. She used $100,000 of the Utica Fire Department for what it says on the news app to do her fingernails, this and that, take a vacation, I just got a feeling they're going to arrest her because that's theft. That's just by going on the news. You have to look probably on YouTube, probably on Jamie No, and there'd probably be something about that on YouTube. But remember, people, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Remember, some places you're guilty until you prove you're innocent. I watched a video when I got back home. You all need to look at. It's called For Public Safety. And he done a video. He interviewed Cowboy Dreads or something. This happened in Hammond, Indiana. And he, it showed once he riding a horse on the highway. But he was in the town of Hammond, Indiana. This a-hole female cop said you cannot have a horse in Hammond, Indiana. Well, you can't have a horse in the city limits. And they arrested him. They abused this African-American guy. You have to look at that video on For Public Safety. And you see that cowboy dreads or something like that. You need to go to Public Safety and look at it. That was stupid for Hammond, Indiana, all that. He lives, I think, in Illinois. And this woman is a smart aleck woman. None of them cops in Hammond, Indiana knows a stupid law. How about if Hammond, Indiana, if Hammond, Indiana had Amish people, would they arrest them driving their horse and buggy? If I could afford it, I would have a horse and buggy, a horse and wagon, or something like that to go to the grocery store. Would it be cheaper than gasoline? This time of year, probably no. You would have to have a barn to keep your buggy and horse in. But like I tell you, I'm a city boy. Learn to be a country boy. Now, Blackie and Alexi's having fun playing. They're like kids in their terrible twos. I know some of you think I got too many cats, but I got nobody to talk to. All I do get on here to talk to you all and read your comments. You know, I'm bored. As my daughter would tell you, she said, Dad, if you're going to get a girlfriend, make sure she's older than me. I don't want a stepmom younger than me. Isn't it up to me? I want to be happy. But I ain't going to be no woman's sugar daddy. I live on a budget like everybody should do. You know what your electric bill is going to be, your gas bill, your water and sewage. If you don't get food stamps, you know how much you spend a week on groceries. If you go out on the town, like maybe to a racetrack, I would love to go to the sports zone every week. That's down in Clarksville. It depends on if it's Jeff or Clarksville, they're so close together. I would love to go every week, but I can't afford to go every week. I go maybe once a month if I do then. But I like to go and watch the school bus races. People, if you're in Clarksville, Jeffersonville area, when they have those school bus races, you all need to go. Them school buses run the figure-8 races. If you want to see some good wrecks, you need to go to the Sports Zone Speedway. They're not a sponsor. And they run a figure-8 bus race. And by going to that, you see how safe those buses are. Even if they get hit broadside. The only thing about school buses that we, the people, got our kids on, grandkids and all that, there's no seat belts in them. Without no seat belts, those kids will get hurt. But who's going to be on that bus to make sure those kids put the seat belt on? That means you have to hire a monitor for each school bus. What does that mean to we, the people? That means our taxes will go up to hire them extra people. But in a way, I think it'd be worth it if them school buses would have seat belts in them to protect our kids, our grandkids. Maybe great-grandkids, you know. So that's something to think about. Are you willing to pay extra tax dollars for them to have seat belts in them school buses and a monitor to make sure that each child is seat belt in? So I want you all to think about it. And ask God to help you think about it. And God will show you the answer to that question. I pray to God every time I spend $4 a month to play the lotto to let me win. I'll be a tightwad. Can you see all the people coming out of the woodworks? Oh, you're my daddy. You're my grandpa. Oh, I love you. I want to marry you. You know, women like that. Women, if you didn't date me before I had money, I know you're after my money. People said, you buy you some property and build you a bigger house. I said, why you want to have a bigger house? Man, it's just me and my cats. A bigger house means more work for this old man. Nope. I just find people that specialize in jacking your house up, put a basement in underneath it, you know, stuff like that. And have it upstairs in it. Make my kitchen bigger. Make my house a little bit wider. You know, front and back. Have it upstairs. You know, have your hot water heater in the basement. Have your TV room in the basement. Maybe a big wide TV screen. And maybe a 2-car garage. You know, something like that. And buy the property to the west of me, which I showed you that. When it gets warmer and a little bit drier, I walk to the back 40, but since it's wet, there's a few water puddles back there. You know, if I had the money to buy that too, which I think Dan would probably want a pretty penny for it. I ain't going to tell you his last name, but his first name is Dan. He's a very nice young man. I know he ain't young. He's older than me. He got some good grandkids. I guess his grandson is maybe 17. So, you know, that's, you know, I would love it. I would cut a bunch of trees down, especially right there by the creek. I showed you the creek looking to the south. You know, cut all the damn trees down. It interferes with my TV antenna. But the way my house is right now, I would have to put a 50-foot tower up, maybe where you could tilt it down, and get a rotor and put it in there and get a good outside antenna. You know, I see some of the antennas from Best Buys and other areas. They said HD antenna. Really, you don't need a HD antenna. If you can find some of them old TV antennas, they'll work just the same, except you have to get this little transformer or something that got the 2 wires where you can fasten it to the antenna and put your cable wire on it and run it inside your house. And what they got is a preamp. Brings your signal up. But then you can turn that TV antenna where you can get the best signal. You know, you don't need cable TV unless you just want internet. So people who is very smart out there, they're coming out with a TV that gonna have new software in it. I probably get this wrong. It's maybe ATC, could be wrong on the last letter. ATC 3.0. And, you know, TV, it's over 5 years old. You might have to get a new TV. If you all lost your local TV channels in your area, that's why, because they upgraded the software at the TV station to the ATS 3.0, but you can go on the internet and you know what I'm talking about. They explain it to you better than this old man. So that's something people to look at. And you know I got a iPhone SE Series 3. If you don't know anything about cell phones, you need to get you a cell phone got 128 or bigger. 64 you don't. I know an Android phone, you can get software to clean out your cache and all that, and clean all your junk shit out. But an iPhone, you have to pay for it. People from iPhone or maybe there's some people on here from iPhone. I found out people on here I wouldn't think would be on here. It's VIP. There's a person that's on here. I'm not going to mention that person's name. That person is a VIP and very famous. Well, it's in the family. But, you know, like I say, I'm 70 plus years old. I stop at the post office because I like stopping there. There's usually 2 women or 2 guys that sits out there. They for Jehovah's Witness. I usually pick up at Watchtower. I like to read the Watchtower. I know that's not my church, but man, it gives me something to do. Sometimes they got good stories in it. You know, I miss the Jehovah's Witness coming to my house. When I live in Charleston, they was there once a week. You know, they checked up on me and asked me if I need anything. I'm going to say old lady, but to me, I was expecting her as a young lady. She lived next door to me. Well, if you come out the front door, she was on the left side of me. She was the Jehovah's Witness. I knew her son, Charlie, who passed away last year. And people, I know you see these water bowls. You put water in it, and you have it in your SUV, it wouldn't tip over. He designed that. I knew his daughter. I dated his daughter, which I think my daughter probably didn't know that. She's a very nice young girl. She could cook. My son loved the cooking. And I dated an African-American girl. Man, her cooking, man, I bet when she cooked, I bet I put weight on her. She was a hell of a cook. Is that the first African-American girl I ever dated? No. She took me over to meet her mom out around Churchill Downs, I guess, Algonquin Parkway, but you know, I met her mom, met her brothers, but her mom's boyfriend hated me because I was white. I was a cracker. People, let's stop this racism. People's all the same. We all got red blood in us. If you really do a DNA test, you're going to find out we got Mexican, we got Japanese, we got Indian. You know, we all kin each other one way or another. Let's stop this racism. White people, quit calling them African Americans the N-word. Or cross-eyed or stuff like that. Let's stop it. Let's stop killing each other. I remember growing up, since I didn't live that far from Louisville, that's usually the white people killing the black people over in Louisville. Now it's the blacks killing black. Come on, people. Let's stop it. Put your faith in God. No more fighting. Make love, not war. You know, it's too late for me to learn from my mistakes. But let's make peace with each other. God wants you to be peaceful and no war. If you protest, do it peaceful, no fighting. When you start doing this and that, you're going to get arrested or you're going to get beat up by 5-0. So try to do everything peaceful, because that's what God wants you to do. And I took my medicine a while ago. Did I take it this morning? No. I checked my sugar before I got in the bathtub. It was 110. To me, that's not high. My sugar has been high as about 205. But it's still not high. High to me is 275 and above. When I had my heart attack, well, my daughter didn't come down and see me, but my son did before he went to work. And they had to give me a shot because I think my sugar was way over 300. They don't give you that shot unless it's really high. The way I've understand it. But, I know Dad took secrets to his grave. That's probably something that my daughter don't know about. My dad drove either a Model A or Model T down the sidewalk the city of Charlestown drunk. I didn't know he drank until after he passed away. I didn't know he drove that old Model A or Model T down the sidewalk until maybe a day of the funeral or sometime in that time frame. I found out things that he done. If I'd done it, he'd beat the hell out of me. If I drove down the sidewalk, my ass would been in trouble. My car would be taken away, or my motorcycle. I tell you what happened. I know my daughter knows where the Swifty station was in Charlestown, which is a Sunoco station. Man, I was on my blue Honda 450 Scrambler, just getting down on it. The speed limit in that area is 25 or 30 miles an hour. And damn, I got pulled over by a state cop. His name was George True. After he retired from the Indiana State Police, he came the sheriff of Jefferson County, Indiana. People, if you don't know where that is, it's Madison, Indiana. But get back to the story. George True was a Mason. He said, Tom, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I see your dad tonight at Lodge. I'm going to ask you, Dad, if you told him, you better tell him. Well, Dad came home from the Mason Lodge. He said, give me a key to your motorcycle. George told me. I said, Dad, I told you what I did, but, parents usually don't believe you. But he took my key away. I only had 2 keys. He had both of them. He kept one for a spare in case I lost it. I was accused of running from the police, jumping the fence, and it wasn't me, because Dad had both keys. And I deny to this day it was not me. But I was an a-hole when I was young. I would fight you to the death. Because the people I hang around with and got married to, they was from Hazard or Harlan, Kentucky. They rather kill you and look at you or stab you. They've done it before. And I have their Uncle Shirley or Uncle Bill. the old lady's sister, she was a deaf mute too. When she died, Bill came, my brother-in-law Bill came. I still call him my brother-in-law, no matter if Rita passed away. He said, Tom, you're the only one that didn't come up and pat my wife on the rear end. I said, I can tell the difference between her and Rita, which they did kind of look close, almost look alike, but Rita was a couple years younger than her. I could tell the difference when I was drunk. But we still good friends to this day. Even his number one son, we still friends today. But the baby brother, he's an asshole, so I don't really care about him. But it's not up to me to judge him. Every time I see him, he called me, I said, all kind of names. I said, thank you, God loves you. And that really PO'd him, but I'm trying to be nice, just like I love my daughter. But sometimes she act, I don't blame her sometimes. There's a orangutan, man. I wish they had I know they got a zoo over in Louisville. I would love to go to the zoo and see if they got any orangutans. I think them orangutans are very smart animals. I've been watching YouTubes. There's these little monkeys. I don't know if you call them porch monkey. They dress them up like little kids. They sleep by the babies, or if the babies wake up, that monkey will go get the mama, and mama comes in there, like that monkey's taking care of that baby like it's so, it's acting like a parent. I get a kick out watching those videos. But maybe it's Japan or Korea. I know a bunch of other secrets, too, that I haven't said. I found some paperwork, but thanks to asshole brother of mine, he got all that back. I knew I should have kept my paperwork in my Suburban and all this. And copies all those wills and stuff. But that's my fault. So, you all, like I say, you saw the accident in Charlestown today. Like I say, I didn't see no damage to the back end of that white car, but I guess maybe you call it a slight PI, public injury accident. And Major Gilbert, he's not the assistant chief anymore. They got a new police chief and a new assistant chief. I guess Gilbert's getting ready to retire. You get off of my scanner unless you got $1,000. You done moved my damn antenna. That's not a rubbing post. Maybe somebody will send me a gift card where I go to PetSmart and get you one of those posts you can rub up against that. But Daddy just don't have the money. If I got the money I expected out of that lawsuit like they told me, so people don't believe everything you see on TV about those lawyers. So, we get you this or that. Don't believe that bullshit. Just listen to the people in your neighborhood. That's the best thing. If they're good lawyers, good lawyers don't have to advertise on TV. The word of mouth is good. So that's something, to think about. Do your research. Talk to people who are attorneys for lawsuits of car accident or semi-accidents, this and that. See if there's anybody that been in wrecks like that. That's something to look at. If I helped you, I know I've done my good deed. What God wants me to tell you all. So, if it tells you anything. I know I've told you all how to donate at my post office box. And I put my Cash App thing, but I know it's HPPT, 2 periods. You know how to do it. If you want to donate that way. Somebody said, well, get PayPal. Man, I'm not smart enough to figure this crap out. So I'm considered as a part-time YouTuber. Anybody who got over 1,000 subscribers, you know what I'm talking about. To get 1,000 subscribers, I figure that's going to take you a year to 15 months, maybe. I brought you my first wreck. It wasn't a bad one, but there'd be more wrecks. But, if there's a wreck up close to me, I can get on some of those side roads. I guess they call them frontage roads. It drives right along the expressway. I can do that. I can pull off the side of the road and I can live stream it to you all. I figure with winter coming on, there'd be more house fires. But thank God, not that many. And I don't know the country roads around Scottsburg area. So, but if it's on the highway or in town, I know where most of everything is. They always have wrecks around 56 and Boatman Road. It's on the outskirts of Scottsburg City. I can bring you wrecks like that. Because it'll take me from my house to 56 and Boatman Road, probably take me 5 to 8 minutes to get there. But the speed limits on these county roads, I was told by the sheriff, is 55 miles an hour. I showed you some of those country roads. It's too damn narrow. About 30 or 35, about the best you can do. If a car coming in the opposite direction, you're going to have to pull over as far as you can without running into a ditch. I think country roads supposed to be about 40 to 42 feet wide. These around here is not that wide. And also, I was listening to Kern County Crime Watchers, and thanks to Google on the GPS, they got people, maybe it's in California, somewhere out that way. But to get back to that bumper sticker, thanks to the Arkansas State Police Department, they call it natural something. Damn, I had it on my mind, but I forgot it. But I showed you a picture of it. Natural something. It's police pursuit by the Arkansas State Police. Man, you don't want to mess with those state troopers in Arkansas. I don't care if you got a warrant or what, just pull it over. Them troopers out there in Arkansas, they have pit maneuver you if you're doing 130 miles an hour. I saw this one last night. This idiot in some kind of red car. He tried to wreck the Arkansas State troop. He done a flip. I guess that idiot young kid, he's younger than me, so I can say he's young. And that car flipped this and that against the wall. He crawled out of that car. There's really nothing left of that car. I guess maybe those airbags and seatbelt save him from really getting hurt. But people, no matter where you at, if your license is suspended, you got no driver's license or no insurance, and just pull over, please. Because it'd be cheaper. You run from them, you're going to get more charges, you're going to spend more time in jail. So it's best to pull over and take your medicine. You ain't going to get no more time out of it. But I know those people that will do that. So, you don't take advice from anybody. Listen to God. You know, God is your teacher. He's your master. He's your savior. Don't let the devil take you over. Because I know God's talking to you now. If some of you go to bed at this time of night, or you just waking up, getting ready to go to work. God has talked to you about me. Said, help him out. I know you can afford it. It's a tax write-off. You know, stuff like that. God's telling your certain people out there to donate. I know you love to donate through YouTube. Like I said, I need 1,000 subscribers. I'd like to get 100 before this month is out. Some of you don't like what I talk about. That's your right. And I tell you what, the Congress who looked at Joe Biden, look, they showed videos of it where Joe Biden had all that paperwork scattered over the floor in his garage. They failed to file charges against Joe Biden. They said he's old. He wasn't old at the time. A vice president or a senator does not have that right for top secret stuff. All your presidents out there has that authority to declassify it. If they going after Trump, you have to go after Biden, you have to go after Obama, you have to go after Bush, you have to go after Clinton, you have to go after Reagan, you have to go after all of them. To me, it showed by them going after Trump, it's political. Trump declassified those papers, and he had them in a secure location. Well, I said the news people didn't report it. People, I tell you, it was better security where he had it than what Biden did. Trump had the Secret Service. They had the FBI. You know, they had that security is so tight you couldn't climb over the fence. So it was secure. To me, it's political. And, you know, Trump is the first president ever answered my email. The Democrats would never answer my emails because they didn't give a crap about it. But you go back to the 60s and like that when Lee Hamilton, the 9th District Congressman of Indiana, was in there. And your two senators, Lugar and Quell, they was Republican. They would answer your letters. I don't think they had emails back there then, unless that be AOL, I guess. So I wrote them letters asking for certain things. I can't remember what it was. They didn't care if I was a Democrat, independent, or a monkey or a horse. They try to help you out. That's how it was back in the olden days. And now all they do in Washington, D.C., they all fight. So why can't they get along? You know, why can't they make a budget? I remember back when Lugar and Quell, if y'all don't remember Quell, he was a vice president for 4 years, 8 years, something like that. He was a good vice president. He is better than Trump vice president. I hate to say it, but he's a better vice president than what Trump's vice president. People say, who do you think Trump will choose for his vice president? I would say that the lady that's running against him for president, I would say that'd be his candidate for vice president. That'd be the best choice for Mr. Trump. Choose that lady as his vice president. Because election in Indiana, I believe, is in May. But most of the people that's running for president, time it gets to Indiana, it done dropped out. People that knows me said, are you going to vote for Biden? I said, no. In May, I'm going to tell them I want a Republican seat. I'm voting Republican in the primary. I love Trump. My son and I went to Louisville, Kentucky to see Trump when he was over there. I was there. My son was there. We was watching the news media on our cell phone. They reported stuff that he didn't say. Trump is right. It was fake news. You know, it's hard to believe unless you're there in person to see the fake news that he was talking about. And I listened to Buck and Clay today. They talk about Joe Biden's speech, and they talked about his son dying. Joe Biden cannot remember when his son passed away. Remember, people, he's the president. He got his finger right there close to that button. Just remember that. You know, Biden can get that guy to carry that bag with him. He can push that button. Just remember that. I've watched some of his things on TV. He done got Alzheimer's. You know, he's not a good president. What did he do when he first got in? He cut off the pipeline. He stopped them on the border wall. You know, all this. Some people got laid off. Look now, there's people getting laid off from UPS. Does that have anything to do with the president? For I know some people who work there at UPS, and I've talked to some drivers, over-the-road drivers, delivery drivers. I know people that works there as personal friends. I got some cousins that works there. Yeah, because of old Biden. Look at the price of groceries, people. They up. You go to the grocery store, they're out of everything. Pepsi have fell down on their quarter income. No wonder. They can't keep nothing in stock. You go to Walmart, the dollar store, you don't see any Pepsi Zero in the coolers. You don't see them on the shelf. Somebody's not doing the job, Pepsi. Especially if I go to the dollar store, a family dollar store. I usually get me a bottle of Pepsi Zero sugar. Hell, there ain't none in the store anywhere. So whoever does that is not doing their job. And so I guess I have to go on Twitter to Pepsi's site and complain about it. But people, you hear me talk about Pepsi Zero. Pepsi's not paying me a thing for it. I got diabetes. You know, if people got diabetes, they cannot have sugar. If you look at everything that's in the diet soft drink, you look some of that stuff up, you're not supposed to have if you're a diabetic. But what might work for me might not work for you. Everybody's body chemistry is different. What, Alex? I love you too. I know you love me. Yeah, I know you love Daddy. Yeah. I can't do nothing, baby. I'm not a tomcat. You look at Sock. He's a half of the tomcat, but he's still got the equipment. You have to tell him what to do. Yeah. You talk to Socks. Them tomcats out there, one of them's your daddy. The only one you can have any fun with is Rooster and Timothy McGee. They're not any kin to you. But I got too many damn cats. But that's the only company I got, people. You know, I'm relaxed. You saw me this morning when I was talking about leaf filter and how they fucked me. Excuse my language, people. I know God don't want me to talk about it. You saw me crying. I was upset over it. how they screwed, how many other senior citizens that Life Filter have screwed out there in the United States. Take advantage of them where they don't understand crap. You know, that's something, you know, I don't know if the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, or the BBB, because they have fat lied to them, as they always do. You know, they told me that if we wait until you get your check, just text us and let us know everything up to date. I've done that. I kept them up to date. I told them I'm getting a letter from my lawyer to sign the papers where they can send it to the woman's insurance and all that. What the hell they do, them assholes in Louisville, Kentucky, at Leaf Filter of Louisville, Kentucky, they screwed me. They put the shaft to me. And I did file for a loan, but that's only after, before, you know, just have that standby. So them SOBs of Leaf Filter lied to me. I'm a senior citizen. How many more of those Leaf Filter people have lied to senior citizens and done the same thing to them as they did to me? So Leaf Filter is a jackass corporation. They lie to you. They take advantage of a senior citizen. So I wouldn't buy for them a-holes. There's other filter system up there. I talk about this metal one. It had little holes in it. That, to me, is better than the Leaf Filter. You looked at the Leaf Filter, all it is plastic with a screen over it and more plastic. What happened to plastic when it gets cold? What happens to it when it's in the sun? You know, just think about that. Are they really good Leaf Filters? You know, it's guaranteed for life. What happens if Leaf Filter goes out of business? There's no guarantee, people. Leaf Filter puts the shaft to senior citizens. They know they're old. They take advantage of it. They knew I was old. They knew I had bad heart problems. They knew I had high blood pressure. I told them all that crap. And still them assholes took advantage of them. I know I can't do anything, but maybe you all can. You might know some senior citizens out there where you live. Or maybe you work for Leaf Filter. They put the shaft to me, especially those a-holes in Louisville. I showed you a video where they put this 3 to 4 feet gutter up there by my porch to catch the water that came off the roof where my bedroom is to the porch. What do them a-holes of Leaf Filter did? They put the gutter up and said, doing like I requested, come out with the spout into the other filter. What they do, they cut a hole in the other end of it, let it drain on the roof where it's leaking, which my homeowner's insurance will not cover the damage, for my roof. So being home. I wasn't home when they started or finished it up. They trespassed. They didn't call me before they come and tell me they was on the way where I can give permission to be on my property. Maybe I could have them arrested for trespass because they did not have no authority to come there. I canceled the order in November. Somehow, somebody or something, that's what they say, didn't do it. So why would I have to pay for something when I canceled the order? I leave it up to you to think about it, and God would tell you, because I'm telling you the truth, and God would tell you He's telling you the truth. God would tell you maybe you be sleeping, and maybe I be in your dream, because God works in mysterious ways. He sends angels to you. Like I said, my first wife, she was a deaf mute. She's in heaven. I was sleeping over at Mom's in my own bedroom. I must died or something. Maybe I stopped breathing, is what I believe. Rita came to me. That's her name, Rita. Rita, R-I-T-A. She was a good woman. She put up with a whole lot of bull crap when I used to drink alcohol. Her hair was coal black hair. I mean, it was black. But when she came to me, her hair was golden, like you see in these shows. She talked to me. She could hear. And she said, Tom, you're not going to die. God has plans for you. Don't give up. Tell people about God. That's what I've been doing. She said, when it's time for you to die, I will come back and get you. God said, I'd be the one to come back and get you. Dad was dead then. I told her, I said, how about Dad? She said, no, God wants me to come to you. And I will come to you and bring you back to heaven. And I tried to reach to her to give her a hug and kiss, like she disappeared. Angels does come to you, people. Believe in angels. Angels comes in all kinds of forms. It could be a cat. It could be a bird. It could be a no raccoon. I don't think God would do that. Because these country raccoons, I don't like them. City raccoons, when I lived in Charleston, they would come up to you, jump on your lap, let you pet them, and they would wrap their leg, give you a hug around your ankles. I know Clark County had the first case of rabies, like that. But I had raccoons as my pet. And if there's a raccoon on my lap, don't dare step in my yard. That raccoon was as bad as a dog. That raccoon will protect me. I don't know why. Maybe that raccoon was a dog in his previous life. I don't know, but like all these kitty cats I got a different personality. And you see, Socks is not sleeping up in the window. See this table right here? He's underneath there sleeping. At least he won't fall out of it. I think he finally learned his lesson. Because if he gets up there 5 times a day, he falls out of that window 5 times a day. I think he finally listened to me after falling out of it better than 20 times, you know. Because like I say, the other cats, they get up there and they go to sleep, they fall out. But since they're young, they come out with their ice picks. I mean, it comes out like razor blades. I had scratches here. I had scratches on my face, on my arms. Now I get them on my ankles and legs. And when they run, I guess maybe they think my legs is a trampoline. But I don't get abused by anybody except my kitty cats. I gave the outside cats some canned food for supper tonight. So, you know, I do that. They get their cat food, you know, they're not too crazy about that, but I did mix some meow mix into it, you know, where they get used to eating this other cat food, so if it tells you anything. But the biggest cat food meow mix is 30 pounds. I tell you, in dry cat food, people, I spend $100 a month. Well, the inside cats, all I do is dump 2 cups of cat food. That's those large cups that you get at the fast food restaurant. I dump 2 cups of it in the morning. It lasts them all day until the next morning. The outside cats, winter animals, they got to put the fat on where they help keep them warm. But when we left here to go to the library, had, I don't know if that's Miss Groundhog or Mr. Groundhog. It knew I was in the car. It watched me all the way. I like to be friends with that groundhog. I had put food out there, and I've been told that groundhogs is vegetarians. So that's what I put out there for the groundhog. You know, what the sometimes I buy some apples and cut them up and put them out there. Sometimes I put oranges, and I put some corn and stuff out there. You know, but like I say, usually I got mama and daddy groundhogs and some babies. Boy, them little baby groundhogs that runs off real fast. But I sit there and talk to them, and mommy kind of jumps at them. But, you know, I love animals. I'm going to have to get me some of those blocks. I guess it's maybe the brown sock block you get at Orchland. Put it out there. Because one year I had a couple of them up there. I could be sitting out there in my yard. Here comes a deer walking. Because I'd be close to my bird feeder. Because them deer knew there was corn on the ground. They come over there. They keep an eye on me. I said, oh, dear, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just talking to you. Sometimes they get up close where I can pet it on the nose. Then it goes into the back 40. And when I first moved into this place, I was cutting grass. But I took a break. Lucky I did, because I would get the shit scared out of me. I stopped. I'm glad I turned around to look. There was a mama and daddy deer with the baby. They came down here and said, like introduced themselves. I said, "Hello, dear. I'm not going to hurt you. I love animals." I said, "You're welcome to stay back there anytime. You can come up here and you can let me pet you, but I leave it." They done that for a couple of years in a row, but like I said, summertime's not here. The only thing I hate right now is those damn raccoons. They're not friendly like the city raccoons. But these country raccoons are a-holes. So, if that tells you anything, I want to thank you all. Some of them are sitting back in the background. I have asked you things. If you want me to talk about a subject, put it in the comments later. I could see them. I said, yeah, I had my window down. Somebody said, it's cold outside. But it was probably up about 59, 60 degrees today. To me, that's a heat wave. But to me, it's still cold outside. So I want to say thank you. People, what? Did you fall off of the bed? Lexi? Come here, Lexi. No, it ain't Lexi, it's Blackie. Is that you, Blackie? Huh? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. You okay? You okay, Blackie? Get up here. You was too close to the edge. You need to sleep up here, go night-night here. You all heard Blackie talking. So, see, tomorrow's Saturday. I've got nothing to do. If it was summertime, I would go to the sale barn up in Scottsburg, but it's wintertime. Nobody's there in the wintertime. There's nobody at the flea market since it's wintertime. So, when it comes summertime, I do some live streaming at the sale barn. I might take my GoPro, I'll make sure it's charged up and all that, but I want to live stream on every channel I got on here. But I want to thank you. Hit the thumbs up, people. Hit the notification bell. I'll say hit it again. That way you get all notifications. And people on Switch, where you find me, which like I say, I'm old. I don't know, but you can find me at Tom Cartwright 2682-006. That's how you find me. But I know when I make comments, it comes up Tom Cartwright 4375. So don't let that get to me. Just go to Tom Cartwright 2682-006 on Twitch and you'll find me. People say, if you're on YouTube, and you got Switch, you go up there and you can find me on Switch. But to find me on Switch, Tom Cartwright 2682-006. And you will find me there. So, and also people, when you wake up in the morning, thank God for Him for letting you wake up another day. Because God giving you another chance to live. God wants you to start preaching some people. God wants you to help some people. God will pick the people. He'll tell you who he wants you to help. I had a person, so God told me to do this and that for you. I can't say who it is. I promise not to say. And I'm sticking my word. If you donate anything to me like gift cards, you just have to have a letter with it. Don't mention my name. You can mention the state. Like this. So, like I say it's two people. You know, one came through Amazon. I guess the second one came, I don't think, because one came through UPS and the other one came FedEx. I think Amazon used UPS. Sorry about it, Amazon and UPS. So you can donate like that. You can order something like that through Amazon. Send it to my post office box. You know how small a GoPro is. You know how small a cell phone is. Yeah, I'd love to have a new iPhone with 128 or bigger. So, I told you the laptop I need. Some says I don't need a gaming computer. I've talked, to Prism. They said I need a gaming computer with so-and-so, so-and-so. The only place I can find that in a computer is a gaming computer. So, so I'm trying to be honest, but people, what's going to happen if this cell phone decides to quit working? I know I got insurance, but from my past, I would want to upgrade it to 128 instead of the 64. People, if you don't know, a 64 might be okay. But when you start updating everything on your phone, it's going to take away from the 64. That's how come you need a 128 or bigger. You know, don't let them talk you down to a 64. But this is only the thing they had on sale is a 64. I told them I want a 28. Could I afford it? Probably could, but I'd done research on this iPhone Series E. It took me a while to figure that out since I'm used to Android phones. But after excuse me, learning about it, I like it better. But there's a problem that I hate about iPhones. iPhones should include, as one of the apps, the cleaner, where you can clean your cash, clean your junk, you know, that should be included into it. You know, somebody like me who's on a fixed income of $800 to $900, you know, it's hard. It's, you know, I'm having a hard time. So I'm having a hell of a time, but, you know, I have to tighten my belt up. If that was summertime when I got that $1,000 check, I'd probably go to Sports Zone every week just to have something to do. So, people believe in God. Teach your kids about God. Teach your son how to open the door for a lady. You know, teach your kids right and wrong. You can try your best, but I know I was a young kid. Did I listen to my parents? No. Did I listen to God? No. But God is speaking to me now, and I'm speaking for me to you. I know you people don't want to hear it. That's okay. But I told you I was a teenage alcoholic, a teenage drug addict. And I've been sober 25 plus years. That is good for me. I know those people have been sober, has been on here 2 years. Don't give up. Don't never give up, people. Men and ladies, another thing. Men, you get on Twitter, some of them places, they ask for pictures. Don't send pictures. Ladies and men, do not send people pictures. I've seen pictures of women who I knew, and I knew it was a scam, this and that. They try to get stuff out of you. You know, they try to scam you. Guys, you send a picture of yourself, it might be on an X-rated site or a child site. So please don't do that for your safety and your family's safety. Please do not send any pictures to anybody over the internet unless you know them in person. Talk to your kids. Maybe sending pictures to other kids at their school might be okay, but you still want to monitor it. I've seen young girls that send the boys a naked picture of some of them got raised for child for fun. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So, keep an eye. Love your kids. Hug them before they go to bed. Say a prayer for them. Tell them how much you love them, even before you go to bed, 'cause you might not wake up the next morning, And explain to them why you tell them that. Says, son, daughter, by telling you I love you before we go to sleep, anything's possible. God can take me anytime. And I want to have a chance to tell you I love you. And you telling me you love me. And when you and your kids wake up, have them pray in the morning and thank God for letting them live another day. I know that's only my opinion. So, it does help out people. So I want to thank you. I'm going to tell you where to donate. Tom Cartwright, 4375 at Post Office Box number 1, Charlestown, Indiana, 47111. If you got Cash App, I know the HPP team, this and that, but I tell you, to me, it's the easiest for me. The $, Tom Cartwright, 4375 on the Cash App. You know what goes in front of it, so, 'cause you're all smarter than I am. So I want to thank you all. I love you all. So good night, people. I might miss a night. I'd be worried too if I've been on here every night. But, sometimes I jump in during the day if I know my son's asleep when he's here. Because he said it takes a lot of, stuff. You all know what I'm talking about. I love you. I love you, Renee. God bless you. So, sweet dreams. I love you all. As I say, peace, my friend. Peace on earth.